If you're looking for an intriguing summer read, well, I'm holding one right now, and I was reading it all weekend. It's titled The New Girl. It's the latest thriller from #1 New York Times bestselling author Daniel Silva. It is the 19th book in a series that follows the adventurous life of his central character, Gabriel Allon. He joins us now, the author himself, Daniel Silva. Welcome, Daniel. Good morning to you.
Hi, good morning, JJ. How are you?
Oh, I'm actually very excited to talk to you. I was reading your book all weekend long, and you also got me very intrigued about current events, as your books often do. Daniel, last summer, you just finished the book tour for The Other Woman, your last novel, which was a huge success. You were a few hundred pages into this manuscript, and then on October 2nd, a real-world event in Istanbul stopped you in your tracks.
At that point, it was the disappearance of a journalist named Jamal Khashoggi. It took a few days for us to learn that he had been brutally murdered inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, and a few days more to learn that Mohammed bin Salman, the celebrated young crown prince of Saudi Arabia, had given the order for that. And I had begun work on a novel featuring a fictitious crown prince named Khalid bin Mohammed that cast him in a very, very favorable light. And he and my character were going to work together to change the Middle East. And I had to just suddenly toss away 250 pages and start over because the events in Istanbul were so earth-shattering that they changed the entire landscape, that what I had written just didn't stand up anymore. So I threw those pages away, and on right about October 15th, I put pen to paper or pencil to paper in my case.
Daniel, you are known for your central character, Gabriel Allon. People are really intrigued by this gentleman who is two things at one time. He is the head of the Israeli intelligence. He also is an art restorer, a fascinating gentleman. What kind of adventures will he have in this new book?
Well, look, Gabriel, readers of the series know that he's had a complicated relationship with Saudi Arabia. I mean, he is first and foremost a counterterrorism officer. So he's been battling, jihadist terrorists financed and inspired by Saudi Arabia for many, many years now, since 9/11. And in this book, he's going to form a rather unlikely alliance with this man who has promised to change Saudi Arabia, to end Saudi Arabia's support for terrorism and Islamic extremism, to change the Middle East, to reform Islam itself. I mean, this relationship is incredibly important, and so these two men will form an unlikely partnership that they will in effect wage a secret war for control of Saudi Arabia and the broader Middle East. So it's a fascinating premise, and I have to say that something like it is going on right now in the Middle East. Israel and the Saudis have formed a incredibly important secret relationship.
I tell you, that is one of the thrilling things about reading your novels, is that you really are up to date on current events. I know your last novel, really delved into Russia, and now with these Middle East events. You are, of course, married to a television correspondent, and I can imagine that the two of you combined, I mean, you are creating novel after novel, and she is reporting on current events. It must be fascinating to be in your house.
Well, I'll give you one image. First thing in the morning, someone goes to the kitchen to get the coffee started and sit there, and we sit and we are texting and emailing each other back and forth what we're reading in the newspapers.
Yes.
Passages, articles, that we are definitely current events, what's happening in the world, politics. We have a lively household, and that's putting it mildly. And then the other fact is that many of our close friends are journalists and people who are policymakers, members of Congress, and so we have a ringside seat on what's going on.
Congratulations. This is a thrilling read.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Nice talking to you.
Absolutely. The New Girl by New York Times bestselling author Daniel Silva. It is available now. Go to one of the websites on your screen for a copy. HarperCollins Publishers is a proud sponsor of the Las Vegas Morning Blend.